Good morning everyone. So let's move on to the next problem. Next problem is find the centroid of the given shaded area. So as you can see in the figure, there is a rectangle, inside there is a circle and a triangle at the side. And we need to find the centroid of the shaded region. This is the next type of problem that you have. So first thing, obviously what you have to do is locate the reference axis since it's not given in this question. So the first step is divide the given figures into regular figures. So that is going to be your first step. So you can write it there. Divide the given figure into regular figures. Okay. So the first figure you can see is the outside rectangle, so that I'll be naming as 1. Then you can name this triangle as 2 and the circle as 3. You can see in the figure, circle is exactly in the center of both distances. Even though there is some problem in the figure that is given here, this is 100 and this is 100, you may think how it's going to be in the center. Okay, but when you are drawing the figure, please make sure you draw the circle in the center, that is center of 150 and center of this total distance, that is 200. Okay. Then next what you have is, next thing what you need to do is select the reference axis. So I'm going to select the reference axis here, as you can see. So this will be my first reference axis and this will be my second reference axis. I'll be naming it as 1 1 and 2 2. So you can write to the next step, consider reference axis 1 1 and 2 2 as shown. These are the two steps you need to write in the beginning. So since we have divided into components, the next step is marking the centroid of each component. So the centroid of this first and third one is exactly at the same location. So you can write G1, G3. That's what I told. Make sure when you are drawing the circle exactly in the center. Don't make a mistake there. I have made a mistake while drawing the figure. I did not want to redraw it, so I have done it like that. So please make sure you draw the circle exactly in the center of this rectangle. That's how the question is. So G1 and G3 is at the same point, and the G2 you can see here is at the center of the triangle. Okay, now I'm writing the components here. The first component is rectangle, the big rectangle. The second component is the triangle, and the third component is the circle. Okay, I hope it's visible. So the area of rectangle, as you can see, the side is, total length is 100 plus 100, 200, and the width is 150. So you can write 200 into 150. It's in mm, so make sure you write everything in mm. Okay. So it may change according to your question for exam. So make sure you write the unit on the top so that you don't have to repeatedly write the units. Then next, triangle area is half into base into height, half into, you can take 100 into 75. Okay, then circle area is pi r square, that is pi into 50 square. Okay, so in order to find the area, 200 into 150, your answer will be 30,000. And the answer is 50 into 75, correct? Half into 100, so 50 into 75, your answer is 3750. And the answer of pi into 50 square is 7853.98. okay, 7853.98. So you got big answers. Since it's in mm, everything is going to be big answers, so very careful while writing everything. Okay, now we need the x distances. Obviously, since the circle and rectangle centers are coinciding, the x and y distances for both of them are going to be the same. Okay, so the x distance for the circle and the rectangle from the reference axis, this will be the x distance, and the y distance for circle and rectangle with respect to the reference axis will be that. So I'm going to write what is x. X will be the total distance is 200, so obviously 200 by 2, that is 100, and y is going to be, this total is 150, so 150 by 2, that is 75. So same thing I'll repeat for the circle as well, because I need the distance from the reference axis, not directly the center of circle. Some of them may write just 50 because the 50 becomes the center, but from this axis you need, so obviously it's going to be the center, that is 100. And again this is 150 by 2 is 75. Now of the triangle, okay, of the triangle, when you have to find out, you can see here the triangle x distance will be the distance from this particular axis till here, and the y distance will be from here till here. So this will be the y and this will be the x for the triangle. But what you need to be very careful is it's kept upside down, the triangle. So the normal triangle equation which you know, the right angle triangle, is this, correct, is this one, what you know, but this has been kept upside down, so you should be very careful about the distances. So see, you want a distance from here till here, correct? Okay, so you can either take the total distance as 200 and minus this particular smaller distance from that. Okay, so I'll be doing like that. So when you are marking the x distance, you can write 200 minus this particular distance. You know this is the bigger side. When you consider along this length, when you have the triangle like this, and when you are considering along this distance, this will be 100 by 3, because this is going to be the apex, right? And this will be 2 by 3 of 100. Okay, so I'm going to take it as 200 minus 100 by 3x. Same way y also I'll be doing like that. Total is 150, right? So 150 minus this is going to be 150 by 3, and when you're traveling like this, this is the apex, so this is going to be 2 by 3 into 150. So this thing you should be very careful. So I'm going to do 150 total minus 150 by 3. So sorry, not 150, sorry, this is 75, right? Yeah, 75. So 75 by 3. Okay. Okay, so we have got the answers of all x and y and ax also. I have calculated here, as you can see here. Okay, now next step is finding sigma ax, sigma ay and sigma a. So that you should be very careful while finding them, because you know there are 3 components here. So if you need the area of or the centroid of the shaded region, you need not add all the 3. If you add all the 3, you will not get the centroid of the shaded region. So what you need to do is, from this big rectangle, you need to subtract this circle because it is not shaded, and this triangle because it is not shaded. So obviously from this big one, you need to subtract out 3 and you have to subtract out 2. So our equation becomes 1 minus 2 plus 3, because you need to cut out 2 and 3, then only you will get the, from 1, then only you will get the shaded region centroid. So when you are doing this, you need to do that for sigma a, sigma ax as well as sigma ay. So when you are doing area, you need to do 30,000 minus in bracket you write 3750 plus 7853.98. Okay, so these two you need to add and you have to subtract from this. Same way here, you need to add these two and subtract from this. You need to add these two and subtract from this. So I got the answer of sigma ax, sigma ay and sigma a. Please do check the answers because I have done it very fast. So after that, the next step is finding x bar and y bar. So you know the equation of x bar is sigma ax by sigma a and y bar is sigma ay by sigma a. So I have substituted and I have got the answer also. So the answer is 86.4 mm for y bar for x bar, and for y bar the answer is 64.8 mm. So the only thing, the difference that is there here is you need to subtract out the region which is not shaded, so that you get the area of the shaded region. So that is 1 minus 2 plus 3, which is done here. Okay, so if you are in whichever may be the question, that you should be very careful. And also here the distance x and y of triangle is a bit confusing maybe. So I hope it's clear. Thank you.